She killed 3,000 Nemoidians. What the fuck? That's going to be such a niche reference that no one's going to understand unless you live in the UK.
But I can't see a thing in this helmet. That was meant to be a blooper.
There's cyanide in the food that I eat. Doesn't mean there's enough to kill me, but they're still there.
Not even the pilots know where they're going.
Right.
That's the thing.
How do they get there?
This seems weirdly good out of all this evil Empire stuff. What?
It is bizarre, isn't it? It makes me wonder.
If you actively watch reality TV, and I just think you're a no, I'm kidding. But I just can't stand
your
it.
mum and my mum.
I absolutely did.
Stepmom,
You are absolutely right. Harry, Ron, or Hermione should have died in the Battle of Hogwarts in that.
Hello there,
General Kenobi!
General Kenobi.
Yay.
Welcome to It Starts with Star Wars. We are Comrade Joe and John, where we'll be talking about Star Wars and other science fictions. Then we'll see where the Force takes us. Today we'll be talking about the different visions within the Imperial forces. But first, the verses.
Before we go into the verses, I want to announce I am drinking during this.
Oh god, oh no. Not again. Not a repeat of last time.
What happened last time?
I don't know.
Nothing.
We had another member. This was quite interesting. Asajj Ventress versus Mundi. Which eras of these characters are we talking about?
I know one era of one of the characters. Can you guess?
So one era of one of the characters. Okay.
I mean, I'm going to say.
Are we talking about
Clone Wars, like normal Clone Wars Ventress, and normal Clone Wars Mundi? That was what I was going for.
As in the Dave Filoni animated series.
Yeah. I mean, is there really much of a difference between him in that Clone Wars and the Revenge of the Sith?
I feel like 2003 Clone Wars he's obviously dialed up a bit.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of those characters being gunned down by clones.
Yeah.
That's about all I know in this versus.
And to be fair,
I need to hear your guys'
Asajj
opinions.
Asajj Ventress has taken on platoons of clones before.
Mm.
Because I guess she was trained to take them out. She's also gone up against the best of the Jedi and
repeatedly, over and over.
Repeatedly,
it seems like it's all she goes against.
Yeah, yeah. She's not. She doesn't win much of them because it's Anakin and Obi-Wan. They have plot armor.
Yeah,
and Ahsoka, but she does win. She does actually win against both Ahsoka and Luminara together. Yeah, she does come out on top of that fight, and they have to escape.
I was just going to say, it is interesting. I looked this up when we were talking in the previous podcast about Ventress and Grievous for 2003. In lore, Ventress has only got 2 confirmed Jedi kills, I believe, which is kind of surprisingly little. But again, like we were literally just mentioning, she always has the unfortunate objective, or she just happens to encounter either Kenobi or Anakin and Kenobi at the same time. So it's just like she really she doesn't get a fair chance to actually show her prowess, really. A lot of the time.
No. Who does she kill?
I don't know. It is mentioned.
Shall I Google it?
Yeah, go on. But yeah, obviously like countless clones and kind of maybe not innocent people, but like
younglings?
Guys.
Oh.
Her kill count during the Clone Wars, everyone included.
Yeah. Probably hundreds.
I want you to I want you to guess this because I want to see if you guys, because there is an exact number here that someone has decided 69. To count up within the comics, within the comics, within the Clone Wars TV show, within all of it. How much do you think it is?
Oh God! Oh, within 69? The comics as well.
Yeah, apparently this is like all of it. Apparently it's all in canon as well.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's probably a shitload because she's probably killed a lot of clones.
I mean, you literally said it yourself. It might be more 420.
Nice. You even said it yourself. She's killed battalions of clones. So I'm going to put it up at like 2,000. I'm going to say 2,000 people.
Okay.
Right.
The total number is 3,202.
Oh my god.
I was a little off. I was only a little bit off.
A little bit off.
I don't know if there's a meme number that high.
A specific list includes 3,198 Nemoidians.
Oh my god. Why the Nemoidians?
Yeah,
what did they do?
Just racism, I guess. 2 royal guards. The 2 parents of Rakura. And 2 parents of a character named Rakura. Documented kills are far higher in Legends and other sources than in the main Clone Wars series, where a specific tally isn't provided. That's mad.
That is crazy.
They say
16 Jedi kills.
Right. What, and is that in canon? Or that Legends?
One source specifies that Ventress marked the Jedi Knight Zhang Lili as her 16th kill during the Clone Wars.
Sorry, is that Legend or is that canon?
I believe that's her origin story that was mostly used in 2003 Clone Wars, but it was also that backstory was adapted, because apparently what happened to Ventress actually happened in canon in the 2003 Clone Wars. Because you know how the Clone Wars TV series sort of starts, and Ventress is just a character? Yeah. Apparently, the 2003 Clone Wars series is her backstory, and then there's the bit before that where she was she was sort of discovered by Dooku. She was also discovered by a Jedi before that, who sort of, I guess, broke away from the Order and took her on without her really being a Jedi, if that makes sense.
Right.
But yeah, she's killed 16 Jedi, apparently.
I just want to go back on that for a second. She killed 3,000 Nemoidians. What the fuck? What is the context there? Like, she just hates Nemoidians? Or they were all at the same time, just from one action or something?
There was
a
link. Let me see what happens.
That's a hate crime.
Is this like lightsaber kills, or did she set off like a bomb or something?
That's what I'm thinking.
Blown up with a bomb set in the Caduceus district by Asajj Ventress. 3,200 mentioned, minus 2 victims revealed later. So she would have killed 2 people to get in there, and then it was an estimated 3,200 of the population of a village she blew up. So yeah, she blew up a village.
Yeah, that's bad.
There we go. That's that. And Kiri Mundi is just a war criminal, so we don't need to talk about that. Yeah.
So it's a terrorist versus a war criminal.
What was the context for war criminal?
Oh, flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers on people that he's effectively trying to liberate. Okay. Yeah, basically, they're trying to take Geonosis. The Geonosins do not like the Republic. They make it very obvious that they would prefer to be under the occupation of Count Dooku and the droid army. Because they literally make all the droids. They're most of the factories that the CIS have is found on Geonosis, and they are a big supporter of the Confederacy, basically.
What even economy are they meant to have? Because if their whole thing is building droids or doing stuff, surely their main source of income is the Confederacy. So when the Republic's just like, no, you can't build any droids, they're just like, how do I make money? I'm just going to starve now. Great.
Yeah. Basically,
yikes.
When Kiri Mundi's troops are fighting through the droids, they're also fighting through Geonosins, who apparently they're trying to protect from the Confederacy and all of that.
From their own guns.
And then Kiri Mundi's like, bring on the flamethrowers, and just flamethrowers all the droids and the Geonosins, and they're all screaming while they're flying about.
I was literally going to say, it sounds like, do you remember that show, the fucking Bring on the Wall? Just the way you said that.
Yeah.
But it's bring on the flamethrowers.
Bring on the wall.
Can you make the shape? That's just crazy.
Oh no!
Just a wall of flame in
you incinerated.
Yeah, in
there's a man-shaped hole, or a Geonosian-shaped hole, I should say.
Yeah. That's going to be such a niche reference that no one's going to understand unless you live in the UK.
Is hole in the wall only in UK?
I think so. That's my assumption. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe each country's got their own hole in the wall.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Ventress. I think Ventress is going to take this. partly because I want her to. Ventress is one of my favorite characters, so I do have a little bit of bias there. But I also think she's gone up against Anakin and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's defense is impenetrable, and she survived really well against him. Not really a match, but she was able to take him on and give him a good run for his money. Same with Anakin. Anakin has gone up against Asajj multiple times, and given throughout the Clone Wars, as Anakin has progressed, you see him getting on Dooku's level and completely overtaking Ventress. Like the last time they fought, and the time when Anakin found her on Coruscant as a bounty hunter trying to find Ahsoka, he completely wiped the floor with Asajj. But that, I think, because Asajj is used to going up against those people who are that powerful, people like Luminara. And what's her face? Ahsoka are absolutely, because she beat Ahsoka in the Clone Wars every single time. So, and Ahsoka could take on Maul by the end of that.
At her peak of fighting Maul, did she take on Ventress at any point?
How long was Ahsoka away? How long before the end of the Clone Wars did Ahsoka leave the Jedi Order? Because I feel like it was quite late. I feel like it was around 6 months before Order 66.
Yeah, it was close to the end, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and they were together during her escape from the Jedi.
Right.
So I imagine, because she fought Ventress very briefly, and Ventress just completely with her normal sort of way of doing things. Like you say, she jumps.
Yeah.
Like you said in the last episode, she jumps people. So using that strategy she has there, she got the better of Ahsoka pretty quickly, and it wasn't even really a contest. So I think, and let's not forget, Asajj Ventress also took on Savage Opress with ease. She was basically playing with him. So I think Asajj Ventress gets a lot of shit for the amount that she actually loses to Obi-Wan and Anakin, who are the goats of the lightsaber fights of Clone Wars. So I think, considering, let's say 2003 Clone Wars into this as well, Mundi lost to Grievous, and Asajj got the better of Grievous in 2008 Clone Wars. I know it's not really a comparison, but I think we should at least take that into account. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Comrade, have you?
Like my only note was Mundi getting gunned down by clones. That was literally my extent of my expertise. Which, like you said, wasn't in his prime, but like it's hard to get that mental image out. And Ventress sounds fairly badass in comparison. I need to watch Clone Wars, to be fair, or at least more of it.
Yeah,
I only watched early seasons a very long time ago.
I don't think we see a particular scenario where Mundi gets to show off his actual kind of skill against an opponent, do we? I can't think of a time. Obviously, he's on the council, so he's definitely got like accolades to his name. He's definitely got achievements, but I don't think
he's just administration. No, he's just administration. He got there through bureaucracy. Let's be honest.
He used that fat head of his.
Fat head. That pinhead with many brain in it.
Yeah, actually, I'll have you know, it's the second heart.
Yeah, it is a second heart. That's an old callback there. That was an episode we released like over a year ago. Jesus. Okay, no, I had to take a minute there. I was like,
yes,
okay,
we're all in on it. We all get the joke.
Yeah.
Everything we discuss.
Joe, do you remember that?
Everything we discuss, I log and I keep in my brain. I'll never forget.
Yeah. Joe, which episode did we do when we were talking about lightsaber forms? Was it the first one? It was the first episode we did, wasn't it? Back in 2023 and the start of 2024?
Yeah.
Do you remember Ataru?
Yeah, that's Yoda's one, right? With the flipping and shit.
Yeah, when you jump around, and you wanted to learn that because you're 6'2". You want to jump. So, Mundi's 3 fighting choices. He's a master of Makashi. He's a master of Sarisu, and he's a master of Ataru as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So just quick question: when he was being gunned down by clones, he didn't think to do one flip.
Yeah, at least one flip
not
to make
it dodge, you know.
He was one of the masters of Form 3, which is the same form that Obi-Wan uses, which is purely defensive. So so how he wasn't able to survive that, I guess he was caught off guard, but still.
Nah, he's just a bureaucrat. That just made it for me. Purely bureaucrat. Never seen a day of fighting in his life.
It says here he was considered one of the Jedi's finest swordsmen, showcasing great skill in combat, including his ability to hold his own against General Grievous and his quick reflexes during Order 66. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Maybe he was like kind of doing it on the down low. Like you said, a bureaucrat. Like he's playing the game, so he's just like hanging around with like some of his Jedi friends, just be like, look guys, if you just tell them that I just did all these flips and shit and that I killed like 10, like I'll get like promoted, and then I'll have your guys' backs when you guys need it, and then I'll promote you guys.
I wouldn't even necessarily saying that much, or just sort of like maybe it's just exaggerated. It's like your CV or something. He's just really exaggerated. Like he's trained under Yoda. I am a master at his practice, you know, kind of thing. Just
yeah.
I had a talk with Obi-Wan. I am a master of his practice.
Is it? Which one is it? That martial art where it's all about like just doing, you know, and nothing actually really does all that much. But you know, you've got these masters who like. Yeah, basically, kind of like Matrix shit, where they're all just doing like
Wing Chun.
I think it's Wing Chun. Yeah. And so it's probably like that, where he's like paying people to pretend to fight him, and they're just like taking a dive because he's got force powers. And yeah, really, like, you know, he's just shit, and he's just like paying people to take dives.
Do you remember that comic that I told you? Not comic, but Star Wars annual, where in the 2000s that I told you about in the previous episode, where I think it's Mace Windu at his peak, at the most powerful we've ever seen him. Do you mention that? Yeah. So, Asajj Ventress fought Mace Windu in that comic.
Okay.
And didn't hold her own. Like she was defeated pretty quickly, but was able to
not die,
just not lose instantly.
Not die, exactly. So, and I don't think Ki-Adi-Mundi is really capable of that. I don't think many people are very capable of that.
Yeah, he died to clones. Next.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, but this is the lightsaber battle where they know what's going on, basically. I do think Asajj will lose the element of surprise if they know they're going to fight each other. I think she would have to find some sort of peering around the edge or some shit. But she also has a dark side of the Force on her, which I think would be quite good.
Yeah.
For her to go against Ki-Adi-Mundi for. But I
mean, because we have kind of said this, like, I suppose we kind of framed each verse as like they've just met on the street, and you know, it's kind of an off the cuff thing.
Yeah.
However, because Ventress's thing is so much about stealth and jumping someone, I feel like if it played out like it would if Ventress was going for Ki-Adi-Mundi. I mean, Ki-Adi-Mundi didn't even have time to react when the clone troopers were literally pointing guns at him for a whole second. Like, if he doesn't know Ventress is coming, he's not even going to have time to draw his lightsaber. He's going to just get beheaded immediately.
So what we're saying is, if they manage to see each other at the same time, they probably have more equal odds. But if she sees him first, he's just dead.
Yeah.
I think Ventress does take it, but it's kind of annoying because, like I said, I've not actually seen Ki-Adi-Mundi show what he's capable of. I'm sure that it is
we want to see more of those
somewhere.
war crimes. Like, we want them to come back, right?
I'm sure it's illustrated somewhere, but I just haven't seen it.
I think the time we've seen him properly go against people is in video games. I think that's the only time I've ever seen Ki-Adi-Mundi properly fight. But you can't really use that because it's completely different media. Media, what do you call it?
Platform.
Just completely different media.
Well, I will say, in games, if he's an enemy in those games, he is probably defeated. And if he's an ally, then notoriously NPC allies are useless.
No.
So in either case, he's just bad.
Well, yeah, he was sent to Maigito, but that's apparently like one of the most intense fights in the Clone Wars. Apparently, it was at the level.
Yeah, he was spectating.
Of intent. Yeah. No, he wasn't. He was in the middle of it. He was in the middle of that. He was leading his forces. That's where he got gunned down.
He was badly spectating and got gunned down.
He was fighting.
Yeah, he's just like, follow me, on me, lads.
Like I'm convinced of Ventress winning this. So I'm just trying to make Key Addy Mundi as much of a bureaucrat that doesn't deserve to wield a lightsaber as much as possible at this point.
Do we all agree that Asajj Ventress takes this?
Yeah.
From my limited knowledge, yes.
So there is. Ventress has it.
Yeah. Ventress wins. If you disagree with us, go fuck yourself.
Let us know in the comments, though, why. What do you think?
Why should you go fuck yourself?
We'd be interested to hear your opinions of why you should fuck yourself.
Yeah, in how would you fuck yourself? How would you go fuck yourself?
With Mundi's head.
That is a wide circumference. That's like that was a sharp right turn.
It's also completely wrong because it wouldn't be fucking yourself, would it?
Oh no.
Well, guys, guess what time it is?
Okay, anyway, it's main event time.
Basically, today we're looking at the different forces within the Empire, and we're going to try and break them down to the best of our ability. However, the best of our ability is the best it's going to get, because fucking hell. Like, basically, here's a disclaimer. The lore is so muddled, and there's so many different varieties of Stormtrooper and command structures that we'd be here for days going in depth on everything. The information we provide is just a broad summary and shouldn't be used as an exact fact, because no doubt we've missed something or got something completely wrong. So there is a reason for this, though, or basically the writers in lore reason for this, and it is true. Is basically that Palpatine's done this intentionally. He's made the command structure so confusing and intentionally like interweaving that no one can really plot against him, because everyone's kind of competing against each other. And that's actually very true to what like Hitler and Putin's currently doing, where he kind of puts his the people within his like higher command structure kind of against each other, because then no one's got enough power by themselves to then do a coup, or if they want to do a coup, then they have to like, intermingle with all these other things and get multiple backers. And obviously the more people you include in the coup attempt, the more likely it is that someone's going to rat you out. So there is an actual logic to making this so confusing, and it works in the writer's favor because they could just be like, oh yeah, this is dumb because Palpatine made it dumb, not because we can't write a universe.
That's a really good explanation. I didn't realize that was it. That's wicked. It's not wicked. It's fucking dark.
Yeah.
How I take over. Though. It starts with Star Wars. That's how I keep my power. I just need to get my Palpatine to the top.
And, loads more people to join us, and then divide the power, and then you have them all report to you, and then no one is going to have the actual power to take control of it. Starts with Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah. This is nothing to do with this. This is something you'd mentioned Putin, so I've got a little thing that I saw on a reel that I thought would be quite.
Where are you putting this?
Not interesting, but funny. Basically, there was a TV show, a reality show in Russia, where Putin was basically one of the guests.
Right.
Little bug. Got it. And one of his cronies was on the show with him.
Right.
And they brought out puppies and shit. The normal shit they do.
I think I might have seen this.
American TV shows. And basically his crony just picked up the dog, just like,
it's a puppy. I have seen that. Yeah.
Picks him up by the scruff of the skin and just picks the puppy up like that.
Yeah.
And the tag on and the caption on the reel was, when you're being so much of a dick that even Putin is calling you out. And literally, pushes the guy away, but takes the dog from the guy and starts cradling it like that. I'm not saying I'm a fan of Putin. I'm not. I think quite the opposite. I think he's a bit of a however, I just find that very funny how everyone seems to
like
correlate on dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is the same with Hitler. Actually, Hitler was a vegetarian.
Yeah. That is kind of funny. I mean,
that's how they sneak up on you.
Yeah, so any vegetarian, any kind of person who loves animals, they're either Hitler or Putin, maybe, potentially. So just keep an eye on them. You never know.
Well, to be fair, that actually goes into if a person is too good, then why are they that good? Normally, real people have faults and stuff that you can actually see and feel more tangible and make them more real.
Yeah.
If someone's too good, then why have they gone so good at hiding their faults? Why? Why is there a need for that?
I, for one, love eating puppies.
I like eating chickens.
Meat's back on the menu.
Puppies back on the menu.
Back on the menu, boys.
Anyway, the Imperial Army. So basically, the Imperial Army is they're your everyday grunts, and they're the Empire is just basically what the Imperial Army vastly consists of is just
what? So not like stormtroopers or anything like that.
No,
they're stormtroopers.
No, they're not stormtroopers. They're completely the stormtroopers are under the same command structure, but they're completely separate.
The next one's up from these guys.
Yeah, basically. So these are kind of your conscripts.
Okay.
So
this is already confusing me too much.
Basically, these are your everyday people who have just been like, this is like, I've been brought in. I don't really want to be here. The money's there. I'm literally just going to do the job, and then maybe go do something else in a few years or something, just to put my time in.
Okay.
And so this is actually what the vast majority of the Imperial forces just consists of is just normal people, and so we don't see much of them throughout Star Wars media, but we do see them in Andor and Solo very briefly. The battle where Han Solo meets the gang. I forget their name.
Meets Chewbacca as well. Okay. So they're just hired guns, basically, from the everyday society.
Yeah, more or less the casuals. Okay. Yeah.
To be fair, it makes sense that we don't see much of them throughout Star Wars media, apart from recently, because most of the Star Wars media we've had, especially in the Galactic Civil War, post Clone Wars, was when they were around either Darth Vader or the Emperor or Grand Moff Tarkin, or all those high end up levels of the chain of command. They would have had to have people like wearing the Imperial armor, though. Because I feel like they would have made sense to have the uniform around those people, or to go after the important jobs. For example, Luke Skywalker being on the Death Star. What else we got? Oh yeah, being on Endor. They would have to wear the armor there to make it like, this is the fucking Empire. We own you. Or some shit.
But basically,
then in fights like in Solo,
anytime we seem to encounter them, it's like a place of key importance, or something. Like the Death Star is like one of the Empire's most valuable assets. Of course, there's going to be like stormtroopers there and stuff like that. But just like a bunch of random backwater planets. Like, it's not particularly actually important to the Empire. They're not going to send their best there. They're just going to be like, "Hey, you guys go deal with this." Like, so it does make sense. And
just send as many, as many like untrained people as possible, just to overwhelm the enemy. Basically, battle droids, but living.
So then after that, we've got the Imperial combat drivers. So these are also part of the Imperial Army. And these guys are the only people we see in the original films that are part of the actual, Imperial Army. Because they're the like ATSTs and the AT-AT drivers. So, in Hoth, where you see the inside of the walker, where the commander is, like, those guys are actually just kind of regulars. They're just normal guys. So
Well, I'm guessing that the people trained for the AT-ATs and AT-SDs, like they're specifically trained for that. But I guess where you're going with like, why aren't they wearing different uniforms in law? Like, I guess to sort of like match with their platoon. So I guess the platoon that they sort of like get assigned with, they just get like their matching uniform or something like that.
Yeah, it's very strange. I mean, obviously, the real answer is because things change as Star Wars develops and stuff like that, and someone obviously hasn't got the memo that these like Imperial combat drivers aren't actually stormtroopers, or they aren't part of that part of the Imperial military or whatever. Because like sometimes they're depicted as almost having pilot costumes or stormtrooper costumes or some sort of weird hybrid, and so it's just like, don't know why the guys in the original films, wouldn't have had that. There's some explanation probably, but the real explanation is just the fact that like, it's obviously they didn't. That's just how it was back in the day, and now things. Whoever the creative director is, just like, give them something that makes them look a bit interesting.
Do you remember that episode of The Mandalorian where it's in season 2 when they They have to break.
I was thinking about this earlier. Where
they have to break Bill Burr out.
That part.
They have to break Bill Burr out of the thing and use him, and then go in to the Imperial facility.
Yeah.
And they're driving the truck. Is it that armor?
No, it's not. Which is because law's so fucking insane. Because they seem to be wearing almost like a shore. Is it beach trooper or shore trooper like style or like scout trooper thing? So they've got their own thing going on there. I don't know. If those guys are stormtroopers or what their deal is, but because like you say, they are kind of basically just doing the same role as the Imperial combat drivers. Maybe they are Imperial combat drivers. And maybe that's just their new look. I don't know. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of inconsistencies throughout this that we just don't have the answer to. Oh, actually, just one thing I want to bring up because I've completely forgotten to do that. I just want to thank Coke Can 69. Nice. You gave me the idea. He's talking about the varieties in armor and stuff like that.
Oh, in the Discord, yeah. So he gave you the idea of doing this as a subject, yeah. Thank you, Cocan69.
Yeah, thank you. He didn't expressly say this, but it was on the topic of like armor variations and stuff like that, and it gave me a bit of inspiration. Yeah. So yeah, big shout out to Cocan69. Thank you.
If you got any expertise to tell us in the Discord or in the comments on our sort of like explanations of these things, we'll be very welcoming and thankful for that as well.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a member suggestion, basically.
Yeah, if you have any suggestions for us to do topics on, let us know, because we're always eager to find out more, and we love deep diving. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, any suggestions, please let us know, and then there's a good chance we'll dive into it, because we don't know the answer, and we want to know. So moving on, the Imperial Military Police. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's just like they do the job of what normal military police do, where they will arrest deserters, or they'll be cracking down on any criminal elements, or maybe like rebel cells or stuff like that that's going on within their ranks.
Important group of people to hunt down coups and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. So they definitely be the ones that like arresting those people. But I don't think they're going to be the ones like actually investigating that shit. I think there's people that will get mentioned later on in the episode that would be the ones actually kind of investigating.
Obviously, you got to divide and conquer those tasks and split up that power. Yeah. So they can't take it from you. It's all mine.
Yeah. Were there specific military police for the Navy and Army as well then? Like they're... Yeah. I'm just reading here, so there was military police for each specific faction.
Yes,
I'm assuming. I mean, just so Jesus Christ,
I think
this is
umbrella
mental.
Yeah, okay, it's because I guess we're talking about the Army now, so I think this is kind of their police, and then they've got one for the Navy, so kind of space, faring military police.
Is there a military police for the military police?
Yeah, who watches the Watchmen? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume no.
I think that's called Darth Vader or Starkiller. Or the Inquisitors.
Everything, I'll go into this later, but I just want to say, anything to do with the Imperial Navy, it's just... But the only people who really matter in the Imperial Navy are just Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. It all links back up to them. Whenever I've been reading lore things, and it's just like, oh, these people take orders directly from Palpatine and Darth Vader. I'm just like,
as you know, technically, Tarkin was above Vader in terms of military power.
I did hear that, yeah. But the thing is, like, because, and as well, obviously, you've got the third dimension of time, of things changing, people dying, things getting shuffled around. Because I've been kind of coming at this from like a zero BBY standpoint. So I guess at that point, yeah, he would have been above Vader at that point. But I think after Tarkin dies, obviously, then Vader just gets everything put at his full disposal. So next one, Surgical Corps. Again, kind of self-explanatory. There's not very much information on them, but they're just like the medics, and they're found mostly on like kind of front line. My leg.
Is there an engineer version of that for like the droids and stuff?
That's a good question. I didn't look into that because obviously I was kind of focusing on the Empire, but I can't imagine there would be. There might be
it's called a welder.
Was it Empire? Like, obviously, you didn't have the main forces, but like,
I see.
You have like extras of like specialized droids for stuff.
Yeah, probably. I don't. They probably do have something like a department that does sort that stuff out, but like I didn't see anything about it. So that's something I'm missing. Again, if you know what that would be, or what that department's called, or the lore of that department, let us know in the comments because we want to know. But that's a good question. I don't know, and I'd have to imagine they would, because that would make sense for them to have someone on standby to fix all the droids and stuff and the equipment.
I know there's not a lot of that stuff, but I think I've mainly seen it from like the Mandalorian and sort of like combat droids from the Empire.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like the Dark Troopers and stuff like that. I mean, Dark Troopers are very specialized, like hefty robots, so I can't imagine those people would get their hands on them because they're so secretive. I reckon they'd like, if they get destroyed or whatever, they just go straight back to the manufacturer because no one should have their eyes on them.
Or does someone from the manufacturer come along and help sort of like maintain them or something like that?
Yeah, entirely possible. But again, because I'd imagine they're so specialized, they might need like equipment that you can't just take around with you. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Next one, the Imperial Survey Corps. This is quite an interesting one, actually. They explore wild space and the unknown regions. So it's kind of like I don't know if I'd even call them necessarily troops, but like explorers. I guess they kind of they're colonists. I guess. But I mean, they don't actually
the furthest reaches of space. Well, not. What's the term for like taking over sort of like the native tribes of the outer rims or something?
Yeah, that'd be colonizing. Yeah. But I don't think they're actually colonizing. I think they're just kind of like getting information, letting people know, and then I don't really know how colonization works in Star Wars. If the Empire does just land a bunch of people on a planet and it's just like, this is your home now.
You're ours now. Yeah. We own you.
Yeah.
I imagine that is it. I imagine it works exactly the same way as it does in the real world.
Yeah.
But on planets and on a planetorial scale rather than a country sort of scale.
Yeah. Yeah, and also just to go into it, I'm not 100% sure if these guys were just like regular military or if they were stormtroopers. Because to me, it would make sense for them to have that kind of kit with them, like the stormtrooper outfit, because it's a lot more protective of the environment and stuff like that. Because you don't know what you're going to get if you're going onto an undiscovered planet. You don't know what to expect. So I'll leave this to someone else. I'll let Nick, John, do you want to read this?
Which one? Stormtroopers?
Yeah.
The equivalent of the red-green berets. So these are the sort of they're at the bottom of the army, but they're the ones that you know that this is the Imperial Army.
They mean business, yeah. These guys mean business.
If they're there, you're afraid. Basically, because like they like Lothal at the beginning of Rebels. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen Rebels yet?
No.
You guys should. That should be next on your watch list because it's on Disney Plus. The entire thing. It's a really fun watch. And the sort of the start of the series is based on a planet called Lothal.
Where the whales come down.
Yeah, where the whales come down. But it's basically that's another callback, isn't it? Basically, it's it starts off with just the four or five, maybe six main characters in the entire Star Wars Rebels series are just a very small unknown rebel cell at this point, and they're just fighting a very, very small occupation of the Imperial Army that has basically taken over the capital city of Lothal. And just the sheer presence of like a small batch of stormtroopers inquired the need for a rebel cell to basically generate in this city. So that's kind of the level of the intensity of like stormtroopers are actually here. It's not just the grunts. It's the stormtroopers. This is either we need to be afraid or things are going to get worse unless we fight back. Or things are going to get worse because we fight back. It's depending on what way you look at it.
Yeah.
So people like take the piss out of stormtroopers to not be able to see anything. Maybe that was intentional as well from Palpatine, like the fact it was just really cheap armor and they couldn't see anything in those helmets. Quote from actual Mark Hamill, not Luke Skywalker. Because that was a line that was left in A New Hope. I can't see a thing in this helmet. That was meant to be a blooper.
Yeah.
But it was actually Mark Hamill just saying to what's his name? Harrison
Lucas?
Ford next to him.
No,
Harrison Ford in the scene. But they hadn't yelled cut yet. And they just left the line in. And it just kept on growing from that meme. But yeah, they're meant to overwhelm. I think they're meant to overwhelm, they're meant to scare. So if they start shooting at you, you've got a pretty good chance, but you should still run away. Yeah. I think that's the point of them. Whereas battle droids were, again, they were meant to overwhelm, but they were also relatively accurate, but really easy to take down. Yeah. If that makes sense. So it's, there's sort of that battle droid thing of being able to overwhelm and shit. Anyway, stormtroopers are a separate force from the Imperial Army. While still commanded by them, they are considered special forces.
Just going back on the thing, there is there are variants, of course, within the stormtrooper branches, but stuff like jump troopers and heavy troopers and stuff like that. As far as I'm aware, there's no specific like direct core of just like heavies and just jet troopers or jump troopers or whatever. So it seems they kind of like they're sprinkled within the different sections. Just thought I'd let you know we're not like ignoring them. They do exist. I just don't think they're specific sections of those units.
Yeah. It says here, I think this is wrong, but it says they may contain clones, but most have either been replaced, killed, or have deserted by this point. I think the lore since the Bad Batch came out especially, but I think also since before then, I think it's quite obvious that especially Tarkin, he wants to replace the clones with something more cheaper, if that makes sense. So, and something more loyal, more obedient.
We did have this conversation very briefly, but because my thinking is, I know you were saying that the DNA of Jango Fett is kind of degrading, and they can't really make any more clones. I mean, they could have chosen. They could have chosen like another bounty hunter to start cloning. Because in my mind, yes, you've got the huge cost of initial cloning, but then after the fact, you only have to pay for their food and drink. You're not paying them a salary. Like that, in my mind, that initial cost is so worth the following expenses. Because you're the stormtroopers, the jobbies, or the Imperial Army. You have to pay them a salary. You have to expend monthly on paying their rent. The clones, they'll just work for free. That to me, it makes more sense than having a standing army, and it works out cheaper. But that's just my 2 cents.
Do clones work for free?
You need to watch The Bad Batch. Yeah, you need to watch all 3 series because it sort of counteracts. I think the TX828 that you've put here, I think this is all Legends.
Yeah.
Old.
That was a clone who was bred in the final years of the Galactic Empire.
I did check. I checked. I made sure to, because I know there's 2 sections of like the wiki where there's like Legends and canon. I'm 95% sure I was on canon.
Served as a sergeant in the Stormtrooper Corps. Well, the Imperial Shots. Yeah. It says he was built. He was not built. He was generated in the last like year or so of the Galactic Republic. So I imagine being a 5, maybe 2, well, technically a 1-year-old, if he was bred during the Clone Wars. But how would he have gotten out of Camino if he was a 1-year-old clone? When they
no idea.
Rained down on Tipoca. This is what I mean. This must be Legends. Let us know in the comments. TX828. Look him up. Find all the information because I'm looking on the Wikipedia now, and it just says it's apparently he was there during the flight of the Falcon,
and apparently when they're going through Mos Eisley, they're looking for the droids, and old Ben does that. These are the droids you're looking for. One of them is apparently, I don't know if it's the guy. Obviously, he doesn't have his voice. The clone voice, but one of those guys is a guy called Crag, who's also a clone, allegedly.
Is he also a clone? Oh, allegedly. Okay,
allegedly Crag.
I'm sure some of them still had faith in the Empire, but they would have. I think they would have had to been list for that because thing is, I've seen the Bad Batch, and especially in Series 3, I think they're hinting at a Clone Uprising TV series. So I think it would be. I'm interested to see what that will do to the lore of this.
You never know, it might be put down instantly.
Yeah, crushed. I mean, they've got to lose. Like the Clone Uprising, they can't really be a victory for them.
No, you're absolutely right there. However, you do get in season 3. It's sort of spoiler alert.
That's fine by me. You spoil.
But it's not really a spoiler. It's more just this was going to happen in the series. You knew it from day one after Tipoca City was destroyed. Do you know what Tipoca City is, Comrade?
It's the Camino City.
Yeah, the clone base, right?
Yeah. So after it was destroyed, I think it was very obvious.
I think I literally watched that in the Bad Batch.
Yeah. And then Series 3, there are some clones still fighting for the Empire because the chips are still working, but they're sort of fading out, if that makes sense. There's also the clones that the chips either were removed or wore off almost instantly, and the clones still working for the Empire were sent to go and take out basically a rebel cell, and they get there and they realize that it's a group of clones that they knew very, very well throughout the Clone Wars. And it's this whole thing where what are you doing here? I was meant sort of. It's sort of they're fighting and then they're like, we're meant to take out Rebel Cell. What are you doing here? Were you here to do the same thing? And I was like, no, we are the Rebel Cell. Look at what they're doing. Look at what the Empire's doing, and then come and tell me what you've been sent to do. Like,
is that who's speaking to you? I can't remember.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it, have you? I thought you said you hadn't.
No,
you hadn't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I've seen clips, obviously, to source, bits to use for shorts and stuff like that. I've been looking at those scenes.
Okay, I was trying to explain it without giving spoilers, but you've just been like, I'm like, yeah.
He doesn't know who is. There's no way he knows who is.
No, anyone watching this, everyone who's seen the Clone Wars knows who is.
No, okay. Well, maybe I'll censor myself. Probably not.
So I think if there are any stormtroopers who are clones, I think it's going to be like 1 out of 10 billion.
10 billion? 10 billion?
Still means they're there, though. There's cyanide in the food that I eat. Doesn't mean there's enough to kill me, but they're still there.
That's true. Yeah. No, but I mean, like, on this planet, there's 8 billion people.
Yeah.
We were talking about one clone in all of these planets in the Star Wars universe, some of which are overpopulated. Like, it's 10 billion is not a big number.
No, from what I did see though, just kind of like the last thing I'll mention is that it seems like you said, there's really not many left, and the ones that are left are few and far between, and they're only really like what you were calling Kieri Mundi, like bureaucrats now, or they're not bureaucrats, but they've been demoted to advisory roles or trainers. They're not really frontline soldiers anymore because they're too old.
Anyway, can we move on?
Yeah.
So, snowtroopers, these are another form of stormtroopers, but they were specifically trained for combat in Arctic conditions. The only difference is because they had very similar combat, but just the simulations were just sort of what would happen in an Arctic scenario. What would happen in an Arctic scenario? Because Hoth wasn't the only Arctic planet in the Star Wars galaxy. I can't remember what the planet's name is, but quite early on in the Clone Wars, there's a snow planet. And one of the Glup Shittos from Mos Eisley Cantina.
I know what you're talking about. The one with the little proboscis mouth.
Yeah, exactly. He comes from the planet that's in that Clone Wars episode, and so that's another Arctic planet. So the snowtroopers would have been sent there as well. So trained for Arctic conditions. They had extra installation in that
whole division to themselves.
At least 2.
One? No, there was at least 2, but there would have been more. They had extra. There's another one as well in the Bad Batch. So at least 3.
Okay, 3 planets. How many planets are in the Star Wars universe currently? Known universe?
Millions,
loads. Sure. It's in the hundreds.
There's more clones in the army than the snow planets for the snowtroopers.
Yeah. Okay.
So not interested. We're carrying on.
No. You said it. Had extra insulation in their armor and breath heaters. So I assume this means the heaters were sort of just like their breath was recycled to heat the troop. To be fair, there's something similar happens in a wetsuit when you go in the water, so that doesn't really surprise me, and that is sort of based on.
Is this like the reverse of the Dune suits, essentially?
I guess so. Yeah.
So it insulates the heat. Yeah, they don't lose heat.
Yeah.
I guess that does make sense. Yeah.
So each trooper was given a survival pack. It means they could just like sort of sort themselves out and get back to safety, or survive a few days.
A couple of hand warmers in there
before. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, everything
able to find food and all that shit.
Everything under that armor is like woolly lined. You know, it's all the Sherpa. Is it Sherpa? A shearling? Whatever the
kind of like my stuff. Jumper, just
wool, basically
fluffiness and stuff. Yeah.
So scout troopers. Scout troopers had they were more adaptable to different sort of environments. They had lighter armor so they could actually move faster through. So, for example, we see these guys on Endor. They had like very specific uses, especially because they were meant to be in smaller. They're meant to be in smaller smaller teams, smaller groups. As you see on Endor when we first see these guys, groups of 2, 3, 4 maximum. They're literally for scouting. So scout troopers, they're meant to be their armor's meant to be designed so they can get away from situations quickly. They're meant to be able to move faster, able to blend in more, not incredibly because they're still like
wearing white armor.
White armor, but there's a lot more black, if that makes sense. But it still looks shit because they're very obvious.
Am I misremembering the clones? The clone scout troopers, they actually had camo, right? Didn't they? In Camino? Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, but we cared about the clones more than the troopers, let's be honest.
I'm pretty sure the clone version of these guys. Because we see the clone version of the scout troopers, but they're more like snipers. In Kashyyyk, we see them with camouflage on Kashyyyk in episode 3. And with the exact mask, with the exact facial mask that they have in Return of the Jedi. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Third film of each series.
I just wonder why they got rid of the camo. It's strange.
It's true.
Cared less and still cost paint.
Yeah.
True. But even even the troops themselves, I'm surprised they didn't just like roll around in the mud or something just to kind of get a little
you
authentic.
have to take this into account
to get it.
They were costing them money, paying them to eat and stuff like that.
Why is your armor so muddy, soldier? I'm just trying to blend in, so I don't want to die.
Clean your armor and walk out there in a straight line, goddammit.
And
do it
fire
for
randomly.
your planet.
That's funny. Yeah, and walk to your death. Primarily, and their mission was basically they were used for either reconnaissance, so just scouting, basically, and infiltration. So
yeah, sure.
What do you mean?
Were they there for more intimidation purposes?
Do they take the armor off?
Infiltration is their like mental sort of like combat initially, sort of like the scout troops. They're there to let you know the Empire is coming.
Yeah, no, fair
that
enough.
might be the case.
It's like deep striking in Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
The Coastal Defensive Division. So essentially, these guys are literally just stormtroopers who operated in coastal settings. You don't actually need... These guys aren't like specialist at all, really. They've got no additional training, but they were required to be at least like the rank of sergeant or above to be able to join. So these guys effectively would be like veterans or career soldiers. I mean, I think most stormtroopers are kind of career soldiers at this point, but like these are the ones who have been around for at least a while anyway. We see them on Scarif, and they look cool. I love the way they look. I haven't put a picture here, but you know what they look like if you've seen Rogue One.
Yeah.
And
Rogue One, what a film.
What a fucking banging film. If I had to join the Empire, I'd want to get where these guys are, because like imagine just getting paid to just like chill out, relaxing in the sun, getting a sunbed, not a sunbed, a fucking lounger or whatever, then, sipping Mai Tais.
And then one fucking squadron of rebels just comes in,
wrecks your day,
just wrecks your day. Because then the Death Star Cup turns up just to get rid of them.
Yeah, just the sunglasses are just like.
Is that a big explosion coming towards us? I think it is.
Bloody hell!
Should we run? Nah.
Grab another beer from the cooler and we'll wait for it to all blow over. It's fine.
We'll go to the Winchester and wait for this all to blow over. Yeah. If you had to, this would be cool. If you had to join the Empire, I think they might ask you, because the thing is, the place on Scarif, I wouldn't want to go to Scarif because all of the Empire's secrets are there. That would be it was a well-guarded place.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one facility, though. I assume they have other facilities around the planet. So maybe a more...
3 planets for the snow troopers, so I won't count up that many planets for the Coastal Defense Division.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's only one tropical planet in the Star Wars galaxy confirmed.
It's Tatooine. Or Jakku, apparently.
Tropical?
Yeah. You said tropical. I heard heat, and then I thought desert.
Okay. Purge troopers. I was completely unfamiliar with these guys. Actually, I've never
heard of them.
So specifically, they work with Inquisitors to hunt down Jedi. They're trained in dealing with force-sensitive combatants, and are meant to be like very effective, even without working even when working without an Inquisitor as support. Even on their own, supposedly, they're supposed to be quite effective.
So we've seen them in Jedi Fallen Order. Did we see them in Kenobi as well?
I don't know. I mean,
that's a good point.
Have you seen Kenobi? Have you guys seen Kenobi? I haven't.
I'm watching Kenobi for like the 6th time with Fem at the moment. So,
all right.
6th time. Damn.
It's very fresh in my mind. Yeah.
These
I've
guys would
only
have been
seen it once, you know.
It's good.
I haven't even seen it, so it's one more time than me. I mean, you'll be able to tell me because I think they're quite iconic. They're like black, and they've got like what are the fucking
Racist
thingy guards? The the droid guards with the taser sticks. But that's what they've got. And it's purple.
Oh, they got the Magna Guard thing. Yeah, they got the
batons and sticks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, I don't think we see them with those. I think we see them with guns.
Okay.
Or they're just stormtroopers. Yes, there are Purge Troopers in Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
They are a new Phase 2 version that first appeared in the show and have a different design than the ones seen in Jedi Fallen Order video game. Though they are still portrayed as elite, highly trained Imperial soldiers who hunt Jedi.
So they got an outfit change from that time to Kenobi time, I guess.
Yeah, outfit and equipment by the sounds of it, potentially.
They were literally something from Fallen Order that was put into Kenobi because it was in Fallen Order. And they were like, this would be a good thing to include in the Kenobi series.
Yeah.
That was one of the decisions made.
That's very similar tones of hunting down Jedis and
yeah.
Well, yeah, there's lots of Inquisitors in that one, isn't there?
There's an interesting point which we'll talk about later, but I'll bring it up now. There's like one of the research and development things was researching this spice that suppresses force ability for 48 hours, and it seems like they succeeded in
spice from Dune. By any chance?
Yeah, they succeed by the sounds of it. And I was just wondering because I've not ever heard of it being used. I didn't even know it existed. So I would be thinking like, if anyone's going to use it, it's got to be these guys, right? The Purge Troopers to suppress force abilities. Imagine how handy that comes. Like, you know, it's a serious fucking danger. Just like waved away if you can. I don't know how if they inject it or if they like just fire like pepper balls at Jedi filled with this spice or like synthesized stuff, whatever. But they should use it. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, makes sense. That's logical, but again, means less. If they just throw more troops at them, less people to pay in the Empire, more money for the bigwigs.
I just love Rick the Doorman in Survivor.
Rick the Technician or whoever it is. Yeah,
Rick the Door Technician.
Is he in both games or is it just one?
Just one. And apparently it was just like I've seen every single streamer has had the same reaction to that. You know that reaction to that rabbit getting shot by the arrow. It's the same reaction every single time, but to Rick the Doorman, it's just that exact same thing. It's just like. It's just that little pause and a little evil cackle.
Okay. I've seen a different video where it's just.
Yeah.
Sorry, after you, comrade.
That's the comparison. It is the and then the comparison to the other version of it. It's like.
I was about to say I would have been more on the evil laugh spectrum rather than the crying over.
We know
rabbit or something like that.
We know.
So.
When you first said the scene with the rabbit, I was thinking of Monty Python. I was just like, is Rick the Technician a fucking badass? Like, is he killing like everyone?
It's interesting your mind went there, Joe. I would like to see that. A better story.
Moving on, range troopers. So these guys are trained for. Stop playing the guitar. We're doing a podcast, John. These guys are trained for unpredictable and hard environments and they operate on like the fringe of Imperial control. So they often mock the other troopers for being too soft and amateurs. And you see them on the train in Solo. I forget what's the element they're stealing? I can't remember, but
they're stealing something very explosive.
Yeah, it's like
on the
trillium
train.
or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
some made up bullshit
for Dryden Voss.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if it's specifically fuel, but it's like some sort of power source. Yeah, they are quite cool. They look fairly similar to like at least the ones we see in Solo. They're very kind of Arctic-y looking, and they've got the magnetic boots because they're like the trains all flipping around and shit, which is cool. But yeah, I guess they kind of hang out with the frontier people. So the frontier people come back and then hang out with the ranged troopers, maybe because they're right on the fringe of Empire control, whereas the frontier people are actually like exploring and scouting into unknown regions. I'm just making that shit up. There's no.
Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of those. It reminds me of that scene in that film. I can't remember I don't know what film it is. I just see this come up on my feed all the time because I find it so fucking funny and also quite relatable.
Also, you should speak to the mic.
Of quite relatable, just because it's that army officer who says, "We're quite drunk on an afternoon. We've just lost a lot of comrades, and if I didn't say that to your face, sir, I would have regretted it. And being an impulsive man, I cannot afford regrets. So I will continue to wear my sand-coloured beret." Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what film I'm talking about? Yeah.
It's not a film. I think it's a series. Yeah. I get clips of it.
I got distracted by a drunk man talking about a drunk man.
Yeah. Yeah. So that it reminds me of that. It reminds me of them. They're impulsive. They're under the Imperial control, and they get given their orders, and then they're basically just doing whatever they can to fulfill those orders. Is that what's basically being said?
I guess they are far more at risk, so they kind of view themselves as being better, I suppose, because at least in that situation anyway, we see them, quite literally walking at a 90-degree angle with mag boots on a moving train that's going like 200 miles no, maybe not 200, but it's going fast.
A lot of ab
it sounds
exercises.
Like they're kind of adrenaline junkies. They just hopped up, just like,
Woo!
Let's be on this train, just hang out the side, shooting a gun. We're burning you.
Sounds awful.
You know what? I don't
that does
think
not
you're
sound
wrong.
like a good time.
I reckon these guys are fucking radical. I bet they speak to each other like, "Whoa, dude, did you just see me? I just like fucking shot that guy at a 90-degree angle. Whoa."
So they're surf
hardcore.
guys. Okay.
Yeah, they're surfing the trains.
You're way too soft, amateur.
The Imperial Navy. Surprisingly, not too much information to go off, apart from a difference in hierarchy at the top of the command structure. Really seems like it's all under direct control of Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, like you said before. Imperial command and control, the dictated naval doctrines and grand strategy. Tarkin was either part or in full control of this action.
So these guys basically commanded the Navy. This is so confusing. Like, it's actually a really good strategy from Palpatine to just make it this fucking confusing.
Yeah. In fact, you know what, Conrad? Let me take this bit because I feel like I've literally given you, like, you don't know about this topic, and I've given you the most literally confusing part of it. So,
from the sounds of it just sounds like Darth Vader and Palpatine control everything from the side of the structure. Like, when you want sort of like, when it's space battles and like, that's how you main control thing, having like your main pipeline need to go through like you and your like right hand man, it sort of makes sense, even though Tarkin had power over it, but not sure where that is from the sounds of that. Like,
I mean, Tarkin
he ran the ships or something, but Darth Vader and Palpatine decided where they go. That's what the kind of context I'm getting from this.
Yeah, so naval doctrine, like for instance, I know there's the Tarkin Doctrine. There's specifically something called the Tarkin Doctrine. I don't remember exactly what that did, but I want to say it was the type of ships they were building, where that's kind of why TIE fighters had no shields and Star Destroyers, had these guns, and they didn't really have corvettes necessarily to counter enemy rebel fighters and all this. So Tarkin Doctrine, I want to say, I might be getting this completely mixed up with something else, was kind of what they constructed the Imperial Navy fleet, how they designed it, basically, what ships exist, and how they'd be used and stuff like that.
So he's more of a glorified engineer at that point.
Sort of. I mean, he's obviously
like a combat engineer or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so. Like he's definitely got qualification. I mean, we see it in the Clone Wars. Like he's been around for a long time, and he is evidently very good at what he does. But yeah, so I guess you could call him an engineer of sorts, because he's kind of engineering.
He's the engineer of death.
Yeah.
The secret third man in charge.
No, that is kind of literally the case. That is kind of true. John, do you have anything to say on this? It looks like you maybe have something.
I mean,
honestly, I sort of phased out of what you guys were talking about because I was looking at something before what you guys were talking about. Direct control of Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, sort of. I don't know if Darth Vader had that much military power. I don't think he did. I think he had one battalion, which was what the 501st became. With the 501st, or like the replacements of the 501st, became Vader's Fist, or known as Vader's Fist. That was his only battalion he had direct control over, as far as I know. Apart from that, he was actually he was Palpatine's slave.
Well, according to that, like I kind of get that, and why put in my head is sort of like that he had that sort of like command structure and control over that specific battalion or sort of like group. However, if he needed the resources, he could go like, all right, you 3 ships over there, I need you for this combat or something to invade.
I feel like he could do that. Yeah, I think he was given some sort of military power as well, but he
doesn't have like individual control of each one or stuff like that. But he could like advocate for those sort of like resources to be used under him still, you know?
Yeah. You got to bear in mind, by the time it got to the point of A New Hope, he was Palpatine's slave. Yes, he was the big bad guy, but if he didn't do what Palpatine said, then it would have been Force lightning and he would have been gone. It's as simple as that. And he was like fully in the dark side, embracing the dark side, which meant he was selfish. He wanted to live. He wanted to survive. So, and that was purely the dark side in him. I think if he was still attached to the light side, because Palpatine convinced him that going back to the light would have been a weakness, which it wouldn't have been. It would, but Palpatine convinced him that it was. So if he stopped using the dark side, he would have gone against what Palpatine wanted. But the thing is, you need to do what Palpatine did, otherwise Palpatine would have used Force lightning on him, etc., etc. He would have been destroyed, effectively.
From the sounds of it, you're agreeing with me in a disagreement tone.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. He was basically a Palpatine's dog on a leash, basically, and let off the leash when it was required, basically. And then when he needs to do a very specific thing, for example, try to get hold of Luke and Friesman Carbonite, he had to be trained and to do that, and basically be like, you should do. But Darth Vader would still go against him and be like, we can destroy the Emperor together, and it would never happen. But yeah, anyway. You can tell that I'm slurring my words, can't you? I just don't think Darth Vader had that much military power. I don't think.
It might have been Legends that I read it, but I mean, like I was saying earlier, that after Tarkin died, so what 0.00001 ABY, so then Palpatine would then give Darth Vader basically control of the full Navy. I mean, I say control of the full Navy, obviously Palpatine's still number one.
I think he would. I think he would give it to other people. I think, surely, Thrawn left before Tarkin was killed.
Also, I would say probably all the higher-ups who were actually in control of the ships were probably just scared of Darth Vader and getting murdered by him, so they would probably just go along with what he says anyway. Yeah, he did have a few anger issues,
didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, there was, is it Mossy?
Not
is
all
that his
of them
name?
wanted to be choked by Daddy.
Is it? What's the guy?
Daddy
You literally
Vader.
posted a GIF of him the other day of the guy like getting choked out in the office. That guy. I can't remember exactly what he's in charge of. It might have even been the Navy at that point. If
and
it's
do you think
not,
he's
if it's
saying
not
no
Tarkin.
to Darth Vader nowadays?
Yeah, well, that's my point. It's like, yeah, he kind of tried not saying no, but like to kind of fight him on a topic, and then Darth Vader's like get fucked. So obviously, apart from Palpatine, there's no one really anyone else to say no to him, because otherwise, it just
and isn't that the classic sort of like structure of like evil society things? It's sort of like we use
who can
the
choke
power
each other out the hardest
that we have to push people around and get stuff that we want and stuff like that. So it's like Darth Vader, the only person he was scared of was Palpatine. So he could probably get any of the Armada to do what he wanted anyways, kind of thing. Even though maybe he shouldn't technically have that power, but it's evil side structuring. Yeah. Like he's gonna force choke a couple of bitches and get a couple of ships, you know.
Couple of bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we move on to the Imperial Starfighter Core?
Yeah. So the Imperial Starfighter Core, it's exactly as it sounds. These people were dedicated starfighter pilots. Only signups that had tested to have extra quick reflexes and fearlessness proceeded to have the opportunity to become pilots. This was because it was their only defense, because TIE fighters had no shields and basically no armor. So, basically, kind of like pod racing. You needed to be on it.
So what I'm hearing is they're all force sensitive, and they needed that to.
Not necessarily. No. They're just slightly higher reflexes than other people, as in slightly higher. And then, but like it's just a fact that it just shows that the Empire were just throwing people at these sort of at like fighting situations, and you had to have quick reflexes because it was your literal only defense. Yeah. Everything else is offense. You have to just fire. You saw in we saw in A New Hope that these, I think TIE interceptors have a little bit of shields, but TIE fighters themselves, they've got nothing. Yeah. We saw in A New Hope, like as soon as they get hit once by the Millennium Falcon when they're escaping the Death Star, they're just destroyed. They explode straight away.
There is something I'd like to add. Is as far as I'm aware as well, I think I remember reading this. Is that similar to the Shore Troopers? I believe any kind of like TIE fighter pilots had to be like a ranked member of the Imperial Navy, so they had to have at least been around for a bit, you know, to actually get in the pilot seat.
Okay.
That's,
is that all we see in Solo? Yeah.
Yeah, potentially, actually. Obviously, there is like the training school that he tries to sign up to, right? And they're just like, no, infantry. Another question I have as well, which I didn't look into. Sorry, that's my bad. Is I don't know whether this encapsulates like the Lambda shuttle pilots as well, or like just transport pilots.
I imagine. Well, the Imperial shuttles they were more for transportation rather than dogfighting. Like we never saw any Imperial shuttles unless it was a video game. And even in the video games, they were for transporting people. That was it. It wasn't meant for anything else.
Maybe it's their own section of the military or navy or whatever it is, but somewhere in between the ATST sort of like people and those pilots. Like you have to be somewhere in between those two to pilot those stuff around.
Because maybe I'm misremembering, but I could have sworn, for instance, that it's funny that you say about the ATST people, that the transport pilots are like wearing the same thing as them. So maybe they're actually part of the army and not actually technically part of the navy because they don't have a combat role and they're more delivering ground troops to locations and distributing goods rather than actually, you know, flying around in space. So I'm not sure about that. Let us know in the comments.
Maybe that's
if you know
the promotion scheme. They first get you into ATSTs, then they get you into the pilot, the troop people about, and then All right, you finally built up your reaction speed. Let's get you into a fighter.
But you've built up your reaction speed in an AT-AT, the fucking biggest, slowest moving vehicle we have.
Well, to be fair, that's the thing. Is sort of like you start with a slow, clunky machine, then you get to sort of like piloting and dropping stuff, and then like slowly building up those skills. To be fair, that's me giving credit to the Empire, probably where there is none. But
Imperial Intelligence, this sort of relates to the GCHQ, the CIA, the HMRC.
The dreaded HMRC.
The dreaded Oh my god.
Fear into the hearts of millions.
It does. Yes. Kill them all. No, I'm kidding.
Where are the Purge troopers?
Yeah. They're the... Yeah, so they're responsible for the design and construction of the Death Star via bringing Galen Erso back into the fold of the Empire. So it's Director Krennic's faction.
Yeah, basically. Again, there's a bunch of different Imperial intelligence agencies, it seems, but at least kind of the main one, it would seem, was like Krennic's group.
Yeah, they work very closely with the Death Troopers, officially a separate entity within the Empire, but worked so closely they might as well be their right arm. Oh, okay. So the Death Troopers were basically the weapons of the Central Intelligence Council, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not Central Intelligence. That's a Dwayne Johnson and what's his name movie. Death Troopers were multi-skilled operatives that specialised in security, espionage, and lethality. I love that word. I should use it more often. Lethality. We see them in Rogue One under the direct command of Director Krennic.
So technically these guys are special forces, just saying, but I've just put them here just because they work so closely within the kind of higher echelons of like the intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm just going to put them here just because they're basically one and the same. They are different technically, but like, yeah.
We do see the droid versions of these in The Mandalorian as well because, what's his name? Moff Gideon. He developed.
Speaking to the mic.
He developed a droid version of the Death Troopers that are almost invincible, but then, lightsaber. So Luke killed them all.
Cool story, bro.
They're droids and shit.
Yeah, no, they're Dark Troopers. They're two different things, actually. Yes. So research and development. The Imperial Military Department of Advanced Weapons Research. There's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. They were one of the departments that previously existed within the Republic, but then obviously when everything happened, they turned into they just immediately started working for the Empire. So no doubt these people played a huge part in the development and construction of the Death Star. But obviously it's not just the Death Star that they helped with, like, because of the research and development aspect, there would have been slip space tracking. I think that gets mentioned in Rogue One about the other projects and stuff like that. I can't remember what that project's called. But yeah, and then like Super Star Destroyers and stuff like that. So any kind of like secret weapon, these guys have probably had a hand in it. But once again, there's like a whole bunch of agencies that basically do the same thing. So it kind of blurs the lines. The Imperial Information Office. This was mostly comprised of people with brain augments that let them plug directly into like an Imperial listening post.
These guys, they're in Rebels. They tried to compromise Chopper. They tried to compromise the biggest war criminal of the Imperial reign, although he was going against the Empire. And they tried. Yeah, there was a guy who would like Lobot in the Empire Strikes Back. He had those implants around there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. That is what they've got. Basically, all the kind of officers of this department, they all have those things attached to them. So yeah, they basically kind of plug into the Empire's feeds, and any kind of information that's going through the system they can pick up on. So there's like they are your first line. Well, obviously your first line is getting that information, and then the second line is for it to be like relayed to these guys. But because there's so much information getting relayed to these guys, if you want any information, this is where you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, these people would have been the first to hear of any situation that may be unfolding in Empire-controlled space, or even in outer rim planets that aren't within the Empire. Not only did they look for enemy bases, plots, information, but they also monitored Empire networks for sign of sedition or treason.
Oh, so they must have been like a separate division from the military police. Then,
yeah.
But also sort of doing what the military police did, but then feeding that to the military police to actually do.
Yes, because when we were talking about the military police, these are the guys that I was kind of referring to. Is I'm sure these guys, they know who to arrest, and then they tell the military police to go arrest whoever. These are the I don't want to say. I mean, it is a spy network, really. These guys are the ones to be wary of because they know everything about everyone, and they're
the people listening in to all your conversations.
Yeah,
they're on all your PCs. They're watching you right now.
The Imperial Science Division / Imperial Science Bureau / Advanced Science Division. Are they all one entity? Are they all different entities? Who knows? But they all do the same thing. The vast majority of these things are attributed to the Advanced Science Division. So just one of those three.
Dr. Hemlock.
Yes, I have read the name. I don't know if it's someone I should know though.
He's the bad guy. He's revealed to be the bad guy in the end of, he's revealed in season 2 of The Bad Batch, but he is the main villain in season 3.
Right.
Basically.
Okay.
Of The Bad Batch, yeah.
Okay, I have seen season 2, but yeah, I don't remember what he looks like or what his deal is.
Same.
He's effectively, in Game of Thrones, the Archmaester to Cersei, who wears the black gown rather than the grey gown, because he was rejected from the place where they train all the maesters that Sam Tarly goes to, etc., etc. Basically, he's one of them. He was a scientist, but he was rejected from. He was eventually kicked out of all the science schools because of his interest and persistence in pursuing shit that was so far beyond morality.
Even for the Empire.
No. Like the Emperor conscripted him to run the Advanced Science Division because of his ambitions.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So he
Right. Okay. So basically, this guy is an absolute monster, war criminal.
Dr. Hemlock. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Is that was it a symbolic name? Hemlock poisoning.
Probably. His full name is Dr. Royce Hemlock, a mad scientist who leads the cloning program for the Empire.
Yeah, so he's mad.
Apparently so. He's quite young looking as well.
Okay.
Insanity doesn't care about age.
True.
Thus,
here you go,
comrade.
Royce, get on with it.
They researched, as I was also mentioning this earlier, they researched a spice that suppressed the Force abilities for 48 hours, and they tried to synthesize this product that could replicate these effects. It seems like they succeeded, and this product saw some use during the Great Jedi Purge, but I've not actually ever read anything that uses this. I don't know if you've seen anything about this.
No, I haven't, no.
No. Okay, well...
Be interesting to,
Yeah, I'd be quite curious, because it seems like an interesting plot line anyway.
Maybe it's just a recreational drugs that make them think they've created an anti-force drug.
It makes them trip and hallucinate and just... Yeah. We see a facility operated by the Advanced Science Division in the Bad Batch, where Clone
Hang on,
Force
sorry,
19...
before you see this seems like
spoilers.
outdated information. No, it just seems like outdated information, because the Clone Force 99 frees Gregor in Season 2, but then we also see the Advanced Science Division is in it's relocated. Oh no, it isn't. It's you see the same place. No, it's a different place. Sorry, I haven't seen it in about a year and a half, but it's in a different place to where Gregor is freed, basically.
I was only going on that was one of the facilities. I didn't think they just had one facility. I thought they had a whole bunch.
No, they have several, but the main one in the Bad Batch that Hemlock does all his stuff from is in a heavily guarded and heavily secret. Not even the pilots know where they're going.
Right.
That's the thing.
How do they get there?
Yeah.
Again, it's explained in the Bad Batch. It's a really interesting episode where they find out how to get there. So I don't want to spoil that for anyone.
Right.
So
okay.
just fucking watch it. It's really interesting.
Anyway, so basically, Clone Force 99 frees Gregor, and on an interesting side note, the Advanced Science Division's Chief of Security, who was at that facility, was Scorch from Star Wars Republic Commando.
No way.
Yeah. And this is kind of sad because obviously, if you've played Republic Commando, you have a history, and he does appear a few times in like the previous Clone Wars and stuff like that. But so the Clone Commander who runs up, gets like chokeholded, and then they release him, but he like jumps in front of like friendly fire and gets shot off the edge. That's Scorch.
Yeah.
Scorch.
No.
No. They did him so dirty. Like he's meant to be this
mad.
fucking badass, and they make him look like a bitch.
That seems to be a habit. Hashtag Boba Fett or something.
Yeah.
I was going to go free Boba Fett or something. I'm like into
It's the thing is though, with deaths, I've sort of forgiven Star Wars for making silly deaths now. Just because I feel like when characters do get that experience and badass, the most logical way to dispose of them is when they get a bit too cocky and make a little bit of a mistake and then just get taken out.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most. I think that's the easiest way to get rid of them. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Scorch. That's
Scorch,
unfortunate.
our boy.
It is annoying that they got rid of his cool armor though, because before, I don't know if you remember, he had the red handprint on his mask, on his helmet, but they got rid of that. He was just wearing kind of like plain normal armor. I guess because of the chip and everything, he's just kind of one of the boring, kind of not mindless, but he's like he kind of loses that Republic Commando aspect to him, where he just kind of now he just takes orders and doesn't. He's less free thinking.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got the Imperial Department of Military Research. So apparently these guys created the Dark Troopers and manufactured TIE fighter helmets, and at least some of the armor used by stormtroopers. So that's kind of interesting.
So they are manufacturers of armor, basically.
Yeah.
And some droids. Or Moff Gideon's sort of thing. It was maybe his department. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, if there's only this many bullet points and there really wasn't much to go off, like I was just scrounging for information. But yeah, so I guess when I say manufactured, I guess maybe kind of they designed it, I should say, and maybe not manufactured it, because I'd imagine that would be a separate entity. But yeah, so I mean, they're not doing a very good job if they're using developing the armor for the stormtroopers, because they all seem to
Coke cans working for them, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, having said that, I know that is law that like when they get shot, they could just get knocked out because the energy's dispersed. But so I don't actually know what the casualty rate for stormtroopers is. But so maybe they're doing a fantastic job. Maybe just every stormtrooper we've seen ever get shot is just unconscious. Scorch. I know Scorch was a clone at that point. Still, like they weren't in Empire armor. Or maybe he's just unconscious, and then he fell to his death. Are you googling anything in particular, or shall I move on to the next thing?
Well, there's a batch of the Advanced Science Division that I think is worth mentioning because they technically were a little division of it. I'm trying to find out exactly what they were called. Basically, Hemlock had twisted the mentality of clones and brainwashed them to the point where they were totally obedient. They were basically droids, And yeah, it was just clones. They had completely overtaken the brains of
no
clones
free
and
will.
just no free will. Basically, they were programmed to hate anything but the Empire.
Yeah.
And just for aggression, it was just literally clone troopers.
So they gave them testosterone and propaganda.
Watch season 3 of the Bad Batch.
Testosterone and propaganda. That's what I'm hearing.
It was so much darker than that, but yeah, that's basically what it was. It's just I can't remember what they're called though. I'm trying to find them.
The Imperial Engineering Corps. These guys are literally no one. I literally just threw this in just because they made one droid-operated vehicle. I have nothing else. I don't even know.
They made just one. One individual unit or one type?
I'm assuming it's one type, but who knows? It could literally just be a singular vehicle, and that was it. Job done.
There you go.
Yes, go on, John.
Sorry, yes. It's Clone X Trooper Division. So Hemlock ran a secret program by the Galactic Empire's
incredible naming scheme.
A secret program run by the Galactic Empire's chief scientist Dr. Hemlock in the Star Wars universe, Clone X Trooper Division.
Right, okay. Was there really any benefit for this apart from just literally them not questioning orders?
They rivaled the Bad Batch in terms of ability.
Oh, right, okay. How? Well, just by skill or because they were
literal
just
skill and just programming, uploading shit.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and
so
just pure dedication.
The Matrix, essentially. They uploaded combat things into their brain, and
so imagine
in the Empire.
Imagine you're a dad and someone's coming after your family, and the mentality and the testosterone and the protectiveness and all of that shit that comes over you when you see shit like that happening to someone's doing something comes over you, right? Basically, they gave that mentality to clones.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And they're going to stop at nothing to fucking destroy whatever they're meant to be fighting, basically. That's the motivation we're talking about.
Okay. Starting to believe in the Empire.
Exactly. They're just it's basically just they just uploaded propaganda and
I want a short of this. And I want a Matrix reference. And then just at the end, in the Empire.
Yeah, they're starting to believe in the Empire.
In the Empire. There you go. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, I'll skip not skip, but like I'll kind of just bounce through this because it is getting on a bit. Diplomacy. There was the what the fuck? Imperial Diplomatic Core. These people were sent to trade disputes between third-party governments and the Empire themselves. These guys actually they helped administrate planets' laws and policies, kind of adapting to what customs those planets had. So I guess kind of these guys are like the least malicious part of the Empire.
Are these better than our politicians? Or is that something I should say?
Yeah,
they actually cared about other people's customs? What?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
God damn.
The way it surprises
maybe
me.
Need to make a new party, implement.
Yeah. But yeah, that does surprise me. The fact that they are adapting to these policies that, are essentially planets of aliens, which they hate. They hate aliens.
Yeah, that's weird. If they were like human colonies or something, sort of like getting people to join up with you, like that seems important for overwhelming strategies, like if you were going at that angle. But if these were just sort of like trying for alien customs and they're not really into hiring aliens for like the Imperial forces or anything like that, why? There seems weirdly good out of all this evil Empire stuff. What?
It is bizarre, isn't it? It makes me wonder. I don't know. I really would have thought they just wouldn't give a fuck about those planets, but I guess there is a certain level of appeasement that they have to do. Otherwise,
for
they
trade?
will.
Otherwise, it would literally just be uprising after uprising.
Yeah.
Special Forces, Inferno Squad. They're the main characters in Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017. So that's the storyline we see, where we meet up with Luke and stuff like that and shit. And there's the aftermath of the second Death Star being blown up, and then the backstory of the Battle of Jakku, where all of those Star Destroyers we see all those wrecked Star Destroyers in the start of what's it called? Force Awakens. They were a small multi-skilled team, were trained in espionage, assassinations, covert operations, unconventional warfare, e.g. boarding enemy vessels. And we see them do that quite a bit in the Battlefront 2.
Yeah, unmanned. Like, literally, they just, like, vent themselves into space and then fly around, like, solo, if I remember.
That's great. Yeah. They can go undercover for long periods of time and then reappear with their objectives complete. That's mad. Basically, the Bad Batch, but slower. Essentially, they were the Special Forces' right hand of the Emperor. Oh, so they took. Because it was her dad that took the orders directly from the Emperor.
Yeah.
And then the dad was like, my daughter's team will sort this.
Yeah.
Essentially, they were the Special Forces right hand of the Emperor, ultimately defected from the Empire. Why did the rebellion trust these guys? I'm assuming you put that, Joe.
Yeah, I put that. Because, like, literally, these guys are, like, your number one, like, villain. You know, I said, I put into the text here, they're the fucking boogeyman. Like, these guys are the fucking monster hiding under your bed if you're the rebellion.
Can I put this into, what was it, maybe some interesting context? Say John Wick walks into your room. Are you going to start a fight with him?
No,
maybe not right there and then, but like, what I am gonna do is be like, right this way through this door. Ignore the trap door that's immediately behind it that leads to the death pit. But like, yes, just through here, this way.
No, I wouldn't even do that. John Wick is finding a way out of that trap door. So I wouldn't even do that. I'd just be like, hi John, what can I do?
Boogeyman as well, and me referencing John Wick of just sort of like, if these guys showed up and didn't shoot you guys, you might go, all right, maybe they're on our side, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I would if John Wick, if these guys showed up my door or John Wick showed up my door, I'd be like, all right, guys, what can I do for you? Cup of tea? What have I done? Why are you here? How can I help? I will stop doing whatever I'm doing if you think I'm doing something. Probably doing something. You're the Empire. I'm probably a rebel. But I will admit to anything straight away. Please don't hurt me. They're all in the back.
But, I mean, just thinking, I know from an entertainment perspective, it makes sense, and they are legitimate. But like, as the rebellion, you've got to think to yourself, like, the amount of your friends that and probably family that these people have killed, or at least a big contribution to how these people died. You've got to be like, even if they are genuine, you have to hold such a violent grudge against them because of all the shit they've pulled. So I'm just like,
again, I might reference John Wick of if they were hunting down your friends, they probably killed you as well. So therefore, maybe they don't even know the true extent of how badly they fucked over previous rebellions.
Yeah.
And stuff like
do you
that.
reckon? Do you reckon they've killed 3,202 people?
Nemoidians.
Special Commando Advanced Recon Troops. They worked in small specialized teams that had higher degrees of autonomy. One of these teams was Task Force 99, so it wasn't a continuation of Clone Force 99. So Task Force 99 was the original inspiration from a comic for Clone Force 99 in the Clone Wars, if that makes sense. So it was the original, let's take this comic from Legends and put it into the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. So I don't actually think it was a part of the actual canon itself, but in canon, they used this Imperial Task Force as the inspiration for Clone Force 99.
Yeah, but I'm phrasing this in lore, because that makes sense if it's in lore, because
then
obviously
but I don't think they are in lore. Are they? Task Force 99?
I think so.
Oh! It is, apparently.
Yeah, thought so.
Introduced as the Scar Squadron, an elite Imperial Stormtrooper unit.
I didn't write it down. I should have, but Special Commando Advanced Recon Troops. It dropped the troops, but Scar.
They didn't have genetic mutations.
Okay.
They have different body types, but that could just be the builds of soldiers since they aren't clones, yeah. That's basically it. They could have also just had different species, because you can do that as stormtroopers, because you had people enlisting rather than actual...
I was just thinking they couldn't have had too many aliens.
Yeah, just instead of brewing them, just you had actual sign-ups. Right. We've got a couple more left, haven't we?
Well, I was just going to say previously, sort of like diplomats? Aliens are going into these teams? Like, more boots on ground? Because that was my reasoning for, like, the diplomatics to be nicer to the other aliens. It's just sort of like, they want bodies to fit the boots so they can overwhelm the enemy, you know?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's not unheard of. Like aliens would join the Empire just for money or
I was just following your guys' implied racism, you know?
I mean, the Empire obviously are like mostly they are all kind of against aliens, like they oppress them. However, it might benefit personal interests of specific aliens to join the Empire for whatever reason. I don't know what that reason would be.
Help oppress the other aliens, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that one alien doesn't like the other alien's race and they can see that the Empire is kind of crushing their rebellion. He's just like, we're in this. Hell yeah, sign me up.
Imperial Commandos. Is this something to do with the actual Republic Commandos? Or is it...
See, I would have thought, maybe this is a continuation on from the Republic Commandos. Again, maybe not a continuation because they're not clones, but like training-wise. Yeah. There's really not all that much information out there, though, so
okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
So Rebellion General Crix Madine, I don't know who this is, was formerly an Imperial Commando. Madine?
You know the guy who hangs out with Mon Mothma at the beginning of...
Oh, yeah. No, of course, yeah. No more details, really, but you can assume what role they fill. Okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of just alluding to the Republic Commando continuation. Like,
okay. Shadow Trooper, they're less cool Death Troopers. That's fair enough, because Death Troopers are very cool.
Death Troopers are pretty sick.
They are fucking wicked.
Do you like level up? Do you start as Shadow Trooper and then you level up into Death Trooper?
They possess fanatic loyalty to the Empire and wear experimental armor paired with a cloaking. That's pretty cool.
So there's like levels. Stealthy versions.
Yeah, you're saying about levels. It's funny because this next one is the level below that even.
Storm Commando. An even less cool variant of the Shadow Trooper. They exist. I think they appear in a mobile game. They either have incredibly long legs or incredibly short bodies. Looking at that image, yeah. That's funny.
It's a mobile game, so obviously their art isn't to actual depict what they look like, but like they've just got really their torsos are all shrunken up and they got long legs.
Yeah. Can we just skip this next bit and then just look at the next statement that Joe has written, which is I'm going to read this out exactly as Joe has written it because he did most of the prep for this. Thank you very much, Joe. You're a legend. Honestly, I give up. The Imperial command structure is an absolute mess and is beyond recognition of who does what, why, how, when, where am I?
How did I get here?
Sounds like the Empire to me.
How did I get here?
Yeah, blame Darth Vader, blame Palpatine. It's one of them. It's a safe bet. It's one of them.
Yeah. Imperial High Command. There was an overseeing team of the highest ranking generals, including Darth Vader and the Emperor himself, that were briefed daily by the Admiralty. I don't know how to say that. Admiralty? I'm assuming Imperial Navy High Command, General Staff, Imperial Situation Command, Battle Station. Yeah, so it's basically just the High Command, like all the top figures of the Empire.
Yeah.
Knowing the only people who actually knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So no one was a part of that then? Because who knew what was going on?
Well, I don't even think Krennic was a part of that. I think it was mainly just Tarkin and the Emperor. Maybe a few others. Maybe Grand Admiral Thrawn as well. I don't think Vader was a part of that. Yeah, I think Vader was just the Emperor's dog who had his own battalion and had some other military sort of guidance, like Anakin did with the Clone Wars. He wasn't in charge of the clones, but he was given battalions and stuff. You see him trying to get Ahsoka out of jail, try to see Ahsoka. The clones wouldn't let him do it. I think it's the same thing. I don't think he has power. I think he's been given a division and some level of authority, but he isn't given absolute power. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think Darth Vader's quite low. I think Darth Vader's quite low in the hierarchy in terms of high command.
I don't remember
are
if
you
we
saying no
said
to a
this.
person that can kill you?
Yeah.
Carry on.
But, to be fair, on the orders of the person that can kill the person that can kill you. So
I can't remember if we said this earlier, but let us know if Darth Vader had this power, like if he was high up in the leadership, or if he was actually, like John said, like just a kind of Palpatine's dog. It'd be interesting to see, because as far as I'm aware, he had more power, especially after Tarkin died. That was the end of the main event. Hopefully he likes it. Let us know.
It was a long one. There was a lot of points in that. Yeah.
This might be our longest podcast for the main event, I'd imagine.
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember how long the big one went, the May the 4th one.
Yeah. We started recording this at 7:05 or 10 past 7. Finished the verses at 7:45.
That was a long verses.
And now...
Considering how little I actually knew about the verses, except from guy was shot by clones, that one lasted a while.
Yeah. We spent 40 minutes talking about the verses, an hour and 45 minutes talking about the main event, and now we're here.
So our last event, I have a question. What show or film do we hate that everyone else loves? So I'm going to let someone else go first, because I've just...
No, you go, Joe.
I'm also going to specify that we've also half classified this as like overrated as well, not necessarily hate.
Yeah. We don't necessarily hate these things. Well, I do hate some of these things, but it's more just it's more like it's overrated, or for me, I just can't stand it. Anyway, I don't mind going first, to be fair.
Yeah, go on.
I don't hate this film. It's just, I think it's a bit overrated. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Quentin Tarantino, right? I think he's incredible with Kill Bill, The Hateful Eight, Django Unchained.
You should talk into the mic.
I am talking into the mic. You can hear me.
I can't hear you.
That's why I've got a condenser mic, you fuck brain. Right.
I don't care. Eat the mic.
I will say, if you talk like up though, it's not in the direction of the mic, really.
Okay.
Yes.
How is that? Is that any better? That's peaking.
A lot better, actually.
It was peaking a lot, so I'm turning it down. But now you can't see my beautiful face. So
better. Okay.
So I don't hate this film. I watch it if everyone else wants to watch it, but I would never choose to watch it on my own, or I will never choose to introduce this film to anyone, because I just think it's a bit over, and it's Pulp Fiction. Like this is
controversial.
It is very controversial. No, I admit, because it has gone down in history as one of the most amazing films of all time. It's great that is out of order and stuff, and it doesn't really get it, and I'm just like, oh, okay. What?
Yeah,
it is fine from a theoretical, from a Joe standpoint of a media and film nerd. In the same way that I'm a music nerd, I get it. It's an interesting way to redo how a film should work. But in terms of just sitting down and watching it, it's not for me. It's not for me.
Oh, that's fair enough.
I want to sit down.
I want it being like overrated.
Yeah,
somewhat. Considering like it's known for sort of like. It's a well-known thing and widely admired kind of thing, but
yeah,
like those things can tend to be overrated a bit because the cult followings just sort of like self-inflate themselves.
I don't know how storytelling had gone like before that, but maybe that's kind of the first like film of its genre to do the I can't remember what you'd call it when it's like not simultaneously happening storylines. It's all
Not
like
linear.
mixed and matched. No, yeah, non-linear. Yeah. So maybe because now going back to it, like I haven't watched it in a long time, but I don't know if I'd be as blown away, as people remember it being, as they remember being when watching it. So I'm just like,
yeah,
and because also the storylines are really fucking weird. Like, isn't it? Bruce Willis gets trapped in a sex dungeon with his like arch nemesis, and then they escape and they, go their separate ways. Am I misremembering
pretty
that?
much. No, I think that's it. Yeah,
I don't remember it that well. I've only watched it once, like a very while ago. But
yeah, same.
I enjoyed it. Like,
I think what made it worse for me was that it was so overhyped. It was like, you've never seen Pulp Fiction. And I'm like, no, I've never seen it. And it's like, oh my God, it's the most amazing thing. And it does this and it does that. And it is out of order. Honestly, you're a music nerd. You love it when media has done different things. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a chance. Did not do it for me.
Yeah, that's what I say. It bleeds into like the overratedness of sort of like, if you sell them that high, you need to really deliver that high. Whereas like some things can just be good, but yeah.
Is it Pulp Fiction where he's Christopher Walken's just like, here, son, I want you to have this watch. I hid it in my ass in Vietnam, or whatever it is.
I don't know.
I think it is Pulp Fiction where he like hides a watch in his arsehole.
Can you do that Christopher Walken impression again, please?
It's me, Christopher Walken. I have this watch.
That's not bad. All right, that. Should do it for peak.
Oh, yes! Absolutely. Next Wednesday, that's it. Anyway.
I have the urge for cannibalism.
Anyway, I do have two more. These are things that I actively hate with a passion. I do not like these two styles of TV / genre. I cannot stand reality TV. I cannot stand it. I absolutely hate it.
That's
anything,
I'm kind of with
anything
you there.
anything from obviously like The Bachelor, obviously, and then Traitors, even Traitors that everyone seems to fucking love. I cannot fucking stand that show. I find it fucking awful. I like chat shows, people talking to actors about shit, but actual reality TVs, Big Brother, another one, get in the fucking bin. I hate you. I want everyone to go on that to die. I don't.
That is kind of my, that's kind of my mother's genre of stuff she likes to watch. Just sort of like
same with my mum
and like Made in Chelsea and that sort of thing. And
Made in Chelsea. Oh my God.
People talking on that just it melts my brain.
It makes me want to actually like. It's the only time that I feel the testosterone like angry man come over me is when I'm watching reality TV. I'm just sat there, and this thing is my mum loves it. Same with yours that you just said, comrade. And every time I'm just sat there, just like with my arms folded, literally like I am right now, just getting more angry and more angry. And then she'll try and describe why she's enjoying it. I'm just like, okay, fine, but that is also the reason why I hate it. It's just, honestly, I cannot stand reality TV. It's fucking awful. And the other thing is very simple. I don't like horror films. I don't like being scared. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, I really
I will say,
films.
I laughed through it. That's one of the funniest things to me. Just how he moves funny. And stuff. Like, I know it's meant to be like unnatural and sort of like scary in that way, but I just find it silly, so I just love. Like, it's one of the only clowns I find funny. Weirdly,
yeah.
I like zombie films. I like zombie apocalypse films, like World War
what
Z.
about Lesbian Vampire Slayer?
I mean, it's come on.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Have you not? Great film. I rewatched it the other day.
When it first came out, I was a big fan of James Corden because obviously Gavin and Stacey. I think, you know how we mentioned a few podcast episodes ago, Joe? We were talking about, I think we were talking about the sequels where it was like, oh, this is a bad film. And the first time I remember feeling that was about the live action of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Right.
Back in 2010. The first ever film that I walked out of was that film that Comrade just mentioned. It was Lesbian Vampire Slayers. Lesbian Vampire Slayers. That was the first film I remember actively
why did you
just
walking
out. Because it wasn't very good, mate.
It wasn't very good. It's a comedy film, right?
It's a comedy. It's meant to be like a really silly comedy, but it was like, you know how Cats, the film with Taylor Swift as the lead, went down as just the worst musical adaptation.
I feel like that's a very poor correlation. I feel like they tried a lot harder.
I'm talking about, but I mean, like, you know how I'm trying to put how it was in my mind, because Cats was just bad, but Lesbian Vampire Slayers it was trying too hard to not try hard. And it just ended up being a really shit film. I remember walking. To be fair, I was like 10 minutes from the end, but it's still like I was just like, I am wasting my life watching this.
So you didn't get like a refund. You couldn't get a refund.
No, but I didn't. I wouldn't have asked for a refund anyway. I paid to see the film. It's always a risk. You don't know what film it's going to be. I wouldn't have asked for that anyway. But it was just a bad film.
I'm not gonna say it's an amazing film by like it's your general sort of like chaff, dumb sort of like filler films kind of thing. Like I've never credited it too high, but it's interesting you saying like, oh, it's so bad because they tried not to try too hard. That's a fair take. I've never picked up on that, but then again, I watched that from a really young age kind of thing, so it's like I just see it as dumb cum jokes, dumb. Oh, look at the sexy women, kind of like it's real cheap comedy, you know? Like,
yeah, it's what do we describe Adam Sandler as?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Sort of like that brain rot, Adam Sandler sort of like quality of stuff. So like, I'm never gonna say it's an amazing film or anything like that, nor sort of like everyone's gonna enjoy it. But if you're in the sort of like mood for dumb brain rot, like that is dumb brain rot.
Can we move on from my stuff now? Because I'm just getting angry talking about those three things.
I just want to mention it.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction I don't get angry about. It's just not for me. I don't think it's a bad film. I think if it's your thing, amazing. I'm really happy for you. If you actively watch reality TV, and I just think you're a no, I'm kidding. But I just can't stand
your mum and my mum.
I absolutely did. You are absolutely right. No, and I don't like being scared.
To rephrase that, good sir.
Knobhead. There we go. It's like, well, with traitors, it's like you're like watching people backstab each other, and if it was fiction, like say a TV show like Revenge, then I could get that because it's fiction and it's fine. But when it's in reality TV and you're watching people do this for real, it's just like, oh my God, just these are bad people, all for $100,000, which in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that much money. The only reality TV show that I've really gotten into that I thought, okay, I could do this was, is it Alone? Where they put several contestants just into the wilderness. I think the British version they did, they put them into the wild in Canada by a river. They had different locations they were allowed to go to.
Did anyone die? That sounds
no one died. Basically, they had a clicker. If they got in trouble,
like camera crews.
They had cameras and stuff. They basically, the qualification for these people was they had to be able to work a camera. That was it. So they could film themselves doing it. That was it. That was a qualification to get on, and then you were considered to be put in. But it's really good, actually. I can't remember if that's the actual name of it. Is it just Alone? But yeah, but there were several.
In the comments.
Yeah. That's the only reality TV show that I was able to get into, because it's just like there were people just on their own. It wasn't like anything to do with social interaction. It was more just into. It was more like, how could you survive on your own? Yes, exactly. And there were a couple of moments during the because they specifically went into a location where the bears were known to be mostly nocturnal in Canada. So
I like the key term,
there was a few were a few scrapes where one contestant saw a bear across the river during the day, but then there was also a couple of other moments during the night when bears were like sniffing around the tents and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Nearly being mauled by a bear, that's pretty cool.
Well, no, I just think being out in the wilderness, just being out in the wilderness and sort of surviving through like a primal urge, if that makes sense, on your own. No, I know. Alone was good. That's the only thing I can really get into. Sorry, that went on a long time. Who wants to go next?
Go on, Comrade, you go.
Well, my one is the Walking Dead for similar reasons of Game of Thrones, or sort of like these mainstream sort of like drama in situation things, is sort of like, let's kill off main characters and be edgy, and then you lose a lot of the characters, and then it goes on for way too long, and then you're like stuck in like, why are we here?
I was gonna go against you, where I was gonna be like, I actually like the fact that they kill off main characters, similar with Game of Thrones. But yeah, sometimes when it just goes on too long, I'm just like, okay, come on,
but that's the thing, that all like a lot of good shows and stuff, not known for killing off main characters, have killed off main characters and done it in like a great story, wrapped up stories soon after that, or like done something like it's almost like planned. But for like writers for these shows, it just seems like, all right, let's kill off a main character suddenly because it'd be punchy and edgy. Then where do we actually take the story off? All right, let's do that every single season, and then it's like, it stops being punchy, and you get characters with you get people that living like they try and play on it. But then you just think certain characters have plot armor and stuff like that.
Just out of curiosity, though, because obviously it's a comic series. Do you know how closely they follow the comic series? Because some of it might not even be their choice.
That's a fair point, but when transferring media across things, like I feel like you always need to sort of like adapt it somewhat to form the media. Like otherwise, you just get everyone not enjoying it or stuff like that. To be fair, I didn't know it was like comic series beforehand. Like I don't follow with like comics or anything like that, but it's just that mainstream drama that sort of like had its time in the sun for a while. Just sort of like this thing that went on way too long, where we killed a lot of the cool characters early, and it like I think back, should I actually come back and watch some of these shows? I'm like, nah, this is.
See, I do agree with you when you say a show goes on too long and it gets to the point where all the cool characters are dead and
the ones that remain are
not great. Yeah, but I also going to counteract that with like, especially with Game of Thrones, actually, until the 7th or 8th season. I liked the 7th season. 8th season can get in the bin, but a lot of people hated the 7th season as well. I don't understand that, but
obviously these shows will have a lot of ups and downs as they find their stride with sort of like certain character groups. And I'm not that mad at it, but this is why I'm like, I don't hate those series. I just find them overrated, you know? Like,
I mean, the point I was trying to make was, I think the one thing about a lot of TV series that is really expected, for example, Star Wars, is that there are certain characters that you know are going to survive.
Well, that's a problem with doing prequels and stuff.
No, of course. But if you're doing a story for the first time, you know in Star Wars, Luke Skywalker is going to survive that. Back in the 80s, you knew he was going to live by the end of it. And I think for especially in Game of Thrones, because I remember watching that first series for the first time, expecting it to be like every other medieval kind of fantasy series that I'd seen, like Lord of the Rings. You know Aragorn's going to survive. And you're all like, oh, Ned Stark is the main protagonist of this. He's going to be all right. And then to have him he was just, even to the point when 2 seconds before he was beheaded, you thought, how is he, like a James Bond, how is he going to get out of this? And he doesn't, and you're like, oh fuck, everyone's at risk.
Yeah.
Everyone's at risk. No one is safe. This is holy shit. That brought me into it. That was because I thought the first season for the most part was sort of not dull, but it was a lot of setup for the rest of the shit that went on. But then when that happened, I was hooked. I was like, when the fuck is season 2 coming out? So I think, like, I'm going to go against you when I think that can actually aid a TV show.
It can aid.
I do think it can aid a TV show. I don't disagree with that, but it's the fact of they keep the show going on for ages and they keep trying to have that same punchiness rather than leaning on other writing techniques and stuff like that. They just go off to playing it and then it just becomes the focus. And I'm very fine with sort of like main characters dying and stuff like that in like a lot of other genres and stuff like that. Because guess what? They write it well into the story and it hits you punchy and it's visceral and stuff like that. But when you do it too much for too long, it's just...
There's only so much you can do when the whole basis of your story is zombies. Whereas like a fantasy world, you could do so much more. There's so much to explore. Whereas like the zombie world, oh no, zombies! And then character drama. Oh, zombies! Oh, there's more zombies. I feel like it's a lot less flexible. There's only so much you can do, and the stuff that you can do has to involve zombies at some point or another. So it gets repetitive and dull after a while.
Absolutely.
Walking Dead's finished now, right? Isn't it? Stopped? Is it still going?
I think it stopped. I think it ended in 2022.
Right. There's so many spin-offs, I know that, but like, fuck me, it's gone on for so long.
There are spin-offs of it?
There's so many spin-offs. Are you fucking kidding me?
I did not know.
Dude, this is why I'm like, it's mainstream, it's overrated. So much shit came off.
I'm going to be honest, I never
kill a couple of main characters. I'm sorry.
I never started watching The Walking Dead, so I won't know. But I do... Oh, what was it? I had something in my head and I've forgotten it.
Keep thinking about that. I'm going to talk at you while you think about it, though. If you want a show to watch that's entertaining, and you know what to expect, then marathon The Walking Dead. It's still like entertaining, but I wouldn't necessarily call it good. Like I got up to season 5, I think, and like I got exactly what I wanted. I got a zombie show where zombie stuff happens. And then I got bored of zombies because. Sorry, go on.
The way I almost classify it is it's drama brain rot instead of comedy brain rot, almost.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, go on.
So this is my hot take with Harry Potter. Okay? And I think Joe would agree with me. I think Conrad might not because of the reasons you've explained. I think either Harry, Ron, or Hermione should have died in the Battle of Hogwarts in that 8th film or 7th book.
Yeah.
I think that would have been, obviously it was really shocking that people like Tonks, Lupin, and it was either Fred or George, I can't remember, one of the twins died.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think that was really shocking. But I feel like for my bloodlust in fiction, I feel like either one of those 3 main characters, even if it was Harry having giving his life to really, maybe Voldemort couldn't die and he was on his deathbed, but he wouldn't die unless the part inside Harry was completely destroyed. I know technically it did happen because Voldemort defeated himself with the Avada Kedavra. With that, technically it did happen with the way that Harry didn't die, but I feel like Harry should have died for Voldemort to perish. I think that was one thing, or I think either Ron or Hermione should have died. Because that would have been maybe Ron, but I feel like that's too easy. I think Hermione's the most capable. I think Hermione's the most capable out of all 3 of them. So I feel like her dying would have sent Ron on a fucking rampage, and Harry. I don't know what Harry would have done, but I think that would have been very, very heartbreaking. That would have been almost as heartbreaking as reading for the first time that like Dumbledore fell or wherever it was. I think it would have been as heartbreaking as that. But I feel like it could have served the story really nicely. But it wouldn't have been a children's book.
Don't necessarily say that. I add to that of sort of like I agree with you. I think Harry should have died there, and I think what's the other unquote chosen one? What was it? He wielded the sword at the end.
Neville Longbottom.
Because there's like fan theories of he could have been also the chosen one if he defeated Voldemort. And then instead of sort of like the weird, happy sort of like sending their kids off to the train and sort of like being cyclic, and sort of like Ron and Hermione sort of like still doing that, but sad about Harry and sort of like the weight of it still being there.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be, but
so it would have all gone to Neville in the last minute.
Yeah, like it is a bait and switch, you know. Like I feel like, especially. Like at the end, the pinnacle, you could have a very punchy and interesting story arc reaction, and then you could potentially watch through Star Wars again, focusing on Neville instead, and sort of like
Star Wars, Harry Potter. Have you been drinking as well, mate?
No, my brain's just sort of dead at the moment. This is what I did earlier with Central Intelligence and Sensitive State. My brain is just melding stuff together that shouldn't be melded. And Harry Potter, that's it. Like, I've forgotten my point now.
Yeah, if they, like you were saying, if they had, I haven't actually seen all that many Harry Potter films. Maybe seen like the first 3, 4, maybe. And I've not read the books.
That's a good marathon idea.
But if they had like dropped hints, I know obviously Neville Longbottom is like a character that appears in all of the Harry Potter books and films.
He's quite a central character to the story, especially in the books.
In a quick sort of like thing to sort of like for Neville being the chosen one, his parents were also like killed by Voldemort.
Well, no, not really. Tortured by Bellatrix Lestrange, so not at all. And they were in St. Mungo's hospital for basically Neville's entire life because their brains were beyond the point of saving because Bellatrix had tortured them so much. And I don't even think that was on Voldemort's orders. That was just Bellatrix being Bellatrix.
Well, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter stan, it seems, or something like that, but I don't know. Like... I've heard the theory of Neville Longbottom possibly being like, could be the secret second chosen one. And I don't know what makes him the secret second chosen one.
So the full story is you know Professor Trelawney, who is introduced in the 3rd book? She basically, on top of being a divination teacher at Hogwarts, she also creates prophecies. And these are just things that come to her. It's not like, it's almost like an unoptional thing. She just sees into this sort of like, I guess, the netherworlds of the Force, netherworlds of the magic. Like, it's sort of like...
It's divination.
She tells, it's divination,
divination
basically.
Magic. Continue.
Yeah, divination magic. And she was recorded saying there was a boy born at the end of July that would be the Dark Lord's rival, and this is word for word, neither can live while the other survives. And basically, both the two people who went to Hogwarts, because the magical world is a lot smaller than the actual Muggle world, so there's not as many of them. There's still a lot of wizards around, but there's not as many people, if that makes sense, because most people in the UK went to Hogwarts, and there was only 40 people in every school year at Hogwarts. So the two people that in Harry's
I think
year,
in the Hogwarts
Harry's
Legacy
year,
games, there are other schools of magic, and in Goblet of Fire, you got the other schools that come into
so
that.
Durmstrang is a European one, and Beauxbatons is a French one. That's why I mean by UK, stayed in the UK. Fucking hell, how do I know so much about this? Anyway, yeah. So the only two people in Harry's year with their birthday at the end of July was Neville and Harry. So they're...
I think you killed Joe.
Gone. Joe's gone. Basically, the end of... And that was what's in the prophecy. That's why it was between Harry and Neville. And I don't know why
so
over
if
Harry,
Lestrange
but it did end up
went
being Harry.
to Harry's parents and Voldemort went to those ones, the prophecy could have been reversed or the
I
other
have
way around.
absolutely
or
no
like
idea. I'm going to be honest, this is where it goes past my expertise, but there we go.
Well, that's why Harry was a Horcrux, because Voldemort made him a Horcrux at that point, and blah, blah.
Pretty
so
much.
if he went to the other one, it'd be the other child, blah, blah. All right. Your suggestion, Joe?
So, this one as well is quite controversial because everyone seems to love this. The second and third series haven't been received so well, but Squid Game, everyone fucking loves Squid Game, and it's mid. It's mid. I'm saying it's mid. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I like Squid Game.
I've seen clips of it.
I like the stylistic elements of it. Like, I really enjoyed the first season, but I'm noticing a lot with the things that I watch is sort of like, if I don't hang on to, was it a show or something, then it's probably not as great as I initially watched it. It's just probably the novelty of it that I really enjoyed, which Squid Game, I haven't watched the second and third season, so it hasn't interested me enough to come back to follow through with the watching. But it was nice for that novel individual season, you know? So
the
season 1 wise, I might not call sort of like overrated, but them coming back to it and continuing it, I might call the whole series overrated potentially. I need to go watch it and find out.
I mean, I haven't seen second or third series either, just because I thought the first series was good and I enjoyed it, but like everyone fucking loved it, and I don't get why. Because I mean, my biggest gripe with it, which is actually kind of a bit of a minor thing, but like it irks me so much, where I get the whole thing is they're doing like playground death games, but like the first set piece, they're in that big I don't know what you call it, like park or like flat land, whatever, flat ground, and then they do the red light green light thing.
Yeah,
that is making use of the space. You know, there's a theme there, and it makes sense that that's what's happening in that location. The second one, the fucking thing where they're cutting the cookies, whatever it is, they're in a big playground, but it's just like, okay, why are they in a big playground to cut the cookies? You know, you don't need this. It's just you've made this for nothing. I did kind of have
that feeling as well, but I also thought maybe it's a more sort of like cultural thing of that's where those cookies are normally sort of like handed out or something, so they're getting that sort of like environment down better.
Yeah, I guess, but then
we don't really have that, so we can't really comment on that necessarily.
Yeah,
so
that's entirely possible. But yeah, just to me, I wouldn't even be as mad if it was literally just normal playground equipment. Oh, John's dead. I wouldn't.
This is actually on topic though, rather than us talking about Harry Potter.
I wouldn't mind so much if it was normal playground equipment and it's normal size. It's just the fact that it's big and it's got nothing to do with what they're doing that irks me. And I'm just
I will say, I felt that. I felt that too, but I ultimately shoved that under the rug for my sort of like compartmentalized justification of sort of like, I don't know, maybe that's the situation that might have come up in or something like that. So I'm just like,
yeah,
I get you. I can't comment, but you haven't convinced me either, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my biggest gripe. The main character is kind of annoying, I can't lie. Like he's all right, but I love the actor though. The actor's great. He's a great actor, evidently.
He was good in The Acolyte, to be fair.
Yeah. He's like the one good thing.
He wasn't the one good thing. There were a couple of good things about The Acolyte, but it was just the overarching story was terrible. I think he did the best. I didn't think he did the best he could to portray a two-dimensional character at best.
Yeah, we've already talked about the Acolyte, and you should go watch that episode, by the way, guys. And my other kind of thing is just like, it's not that original. Like, yes, the whole like kind of child's game aspect of it is kind of unique. But I don't know if you've ever watched Battle Royale. That's a fucking great film. Basically, it's the same thing. It's like Hunger Games before Hunger Games. It's like the first film in that genre to do it. And it's genuinely like a fantastic film. Can't recommend Battle Royale enough. But instead of doing these challenges, it is basically these people are killing each other on an island. And then it's like and then, there's fewer and fewer of them. They're getting like pushed into a smaller
I can kind of see where you're coming from with like the Battle Royale. I don't necessarily say that kind of since I don't know it, of course, I can't really comment, but it seems like a more drab, maybe more sort of like cult followings of like interesting version, and then this is like the mainstream sort of like with the flashy colors and more interesting sort of like look to it, but less of like honing on the theme. But that's speculatory. I'm just looking at images of Battle Royale. It's just sort of like, it looks a bit drab in my eyes.
Yeah. Maybe I am being a hipster little douchebag, but I was just going to say, maybe I am being a hipster little bitch, but I'm just hating the mainstream version of something I really like. But I just think it's far more, I don't know, deep, I guess. And I like what Squid Game was doing a bit more about the whole like current society thing of like what people will do for money and stuff like that. But there's so many other things that are doing that as well. I don't know. That's kind of my main gripes with it.
Like reality TV. This is
yeah.
Reality TV is Squid Game. Discovered.
Move on.
Anyway, we've been It Starts With Harry Potter. Thank you for joining us.
It Starts With Harry Potter.
Thank you for joining us today. We are It Starts With Star Wars. Be sure to follow Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, subscribe here on YouTube, and join our Discord. Let us know in the comments what you would like us to cover next. Until next time, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.